Welcome to Level TV with the Sony Xperia E smartphone, which is a nice little cheap smartphone here with a 3.5-inch screen, single hertz, single core 1 GHz processor and 512 MB RAM. So it's not the latest hardware inside, but I mean for $130 with single SIM and $150 with dual SIM, this is quite a nice device. It feels really great. We have high quality plastic here by Sony on the back. You can take off the back cover, so you can check out here that we have the dual SIM version, 1500 milliamp exchangeable battery, which has 5.6 watt hours, and also here micro SD card here right on top. There's the microphone. We have no flash actually inside, but there's also to the camera also the 5 megapixel camera microphone above it, and there's also a microphone right here on the front. We have a nice little arc design here, camera button dedicated, on and off switch with the new Sony look here with this little nibble, and of course the volume rocker, which is actually strange since the volume rocker since day one has this weird feeling that it's always pressed inside on the top and on the bottom it sticks a little bit out more, but maybe this is just because we have the press sample. On the other side we have the micro SD for charging and data connection. We have 4 gigs of internal memory, of which we can use actually only 2. Since there's of course always also Android installed, and on the top you have the 3.5mm connector, for which we have a headset right inside the box when you buy it, together with the USB charger, USB cable, and the battery and the smartphone, and a few pamphlets as you were able to see in our unboxing. So, we have of course the speaker on the front, and if you turn on the device you will see that we have Android 4.0, a nice little LED here on the front cover, and you can go right away into the camera. We don't have to unlock it into the smart area, and you can see here the camera is a little bit slow, but it's enough for snapshots. I could just shoot a snapshot like that right now, and you can see that the shutter is actually quite okay. If I change into the video mode, it's getting a little bit faster, but not much faster, but that's again enough for a few snapshots or a short video. We can choose between VGA, QVGA, and multimedia message. So yeah, there's not even 720p video recording here, but that's maybe due to the slow processor, or maybe because Sony also wants to sell you a little bit more high-end smartphones also for a little bit more of a price. So when we go into the start screen, you can see here we have 2 programs installed. Otherwise there's a few programs pre-installed, which we can see all here when I slide through the menu. That's it. We can open, for example, Chrome right away. I have never opened it, I think, so it should pop up with a question. Yes, accept and continue. I'm not signing in. And then we are right here on the top. We can start browsing, for example, for my Hungarian website, which is called tech2.hu. It's responsive, so I just want to show you how responsive sites look on a little device like this, and for example how the screen is also, since the screen is not the best. I mean, you can look at it from a few sides, but from the front it's of course totally fine. From the sides it's also acceptable, I would say. The white is not white anymore, that's for sure. But from the top, let me go down a little bit to a picture. Maybe it's a little bit slow right now, I don't know why. So you can see here a few pictures. If I look at it from the top, it just totally changes. It gets this silver feeling, and it's not really great, especially when you're looking at videos like that and you hold it just a little bit from the side. It will be horrible. But otherwise, I mean, if you have it in your hand like this, you usually don't look at it from the top, except for maybe if you have it under the table, and you shouldn't have your answers to the test under the table. This is maybe not the perfect phone for you for cheating. But as you can see here, we have a few Android touch buttons on the bottom, and if I go into the gallery, which I haven't done again either, downloads, track ID, movies, there's a bunch of Sony pre-installed things on here, so I am kind of having a hard time finding a few things sometimes, but you can of course have everything on your desktop. Album, I was looking for gallery, and yeah, you can see here I shot a few pictures here with the camera, like this one for example right now, that one before, and you can see here you can check out on the box the text a little bit, but not perfectly. Can go to the next one, and I have a few sample shots, of course, also here, which is yeah, quite nice. These are some cases. This is a nice little pic, and we have here some well, this is a higher quality picture of a ticket, of some tickets I bought, so you can also, of course, look at pictures that you loaded on here from your computer. So what do we have here also? We have the MX player, which I pre-installed. It's my favorite video player, and there's a Sony Landscapes video actually on here, which is also on my Sony Xperia ZL, which is 4 to 5 times the price actually of this smartphone. So you can compare the screens, because it's exactly the same video. But the sound is actually quite good on the Xperia E, so that's again a plus feature. This is a 5-inch Full HD, this is a 3.5-inch, I think QVGA smartphone. I'm not sure about the resolution, but actually it can compare to this one. I mean, here you can of course see no pixels at all, and the screen is beautiful from all sides, but again 4 times the price, it's not really fair. Now if you have a video like, for example, a X264 video here of a latest Simpson episode or anything else, you can see that even that in the software modus is actually not a problem. I can scratch it, also crop it, fit to screen is maybe the best way, and then of course you can, for example, zoom or browse here through the video, and it plays fine, but it's a little bit laggy, just a little bit, but not too much. I mean, it's acceptable, but only if you don't watch really a lot of movies. But I mean, the screen is too small anyway, and it feels always like you're holding it wrong. I think from here maybe it's alright, but just looking at it from the front, you have always this weird feeling on the side that you are already too much on the left, where you can see here again the weird colors I was telling you about before. So, but if you're gaming, for example, Jetpack Joyride is one of the 3 games, or 3 games actually, that are quite great on this smartphone, which are also, of course, playable. And let's see how it works. I mean, loading, of course, takes a little while as always, but otherwise, it's really a smooth play. Let me turn down the volume a little bit. It's a little bit too loud for me right now, but you can see graphics look totally great. Speed is also quite perfect, so I think this company knew what they are making here with this game, since it plays on the highest and lowest end devices quite well, as far as I've seen till now. But I think that's enough of gaming. You can see all the effects look quite great. It's quite hard to die when you do want to die. So let's just get out of here and let's do a little bit. We already did browsing, but we have not written a text message yet. Let me actually delete everything that we wrote here, since you can of course use the regular I type by pushing here the buttons. But what I love to do with Sony, and that's why Sony is one of my favorite smartphone manufacturer companies, is that you can connect the letters. Like, for example, I can write Brooklyn like that, and you don't even have to hit all the buttons right. As you're able to see, I wrote it with a Z, since I'm used to the QWERTZ layout from Germany. But I can also write something like Washington. Works totally great. You can even choose from different things here from a list, and I can switch the language. I can go to Hungarian and write something Hungarian like I love you, is said it, like bam, and then the next word can be German, like for example Steuerberater, one of my favorite words. As you can see, works totally great, and you don't just have to do this. I mean, it's quite amazing, but again, you can flip the keyboard also, and right with 2 thumbs quite nicely. Works great. Sometimes it gets a little bit slow, but only because Sony is trying to help you with the words, which you can of course turn off. Also, I can switch here between letters and everything else. And what I love also is we have the colon and the point right there, or yeah, for all the sentences, not like with Samsung where you really have to go to another menu to use those. So I think you get a nice little picture of the Sony Xperia E smartphone here, which is a cheap smartphone with a lot of features. Maybe it's not perfect for multimedia and browsing, but I mean basic features that you were able to see before I was in Google Maps, that works totally fine here. I think, yeah, my Wi-Fi is right now not available, but again here totally fast and everything is working great. And again here the status LED feature is also quite nice, which you'll be able to see maybe even before in the pictures, even though I haven't mentioned it. There's always a status LED here on the bottom, which is glowing in the color of the main picture. So you can see that's now white. Then I think this should be gray, this may be white, but yeah, red. It has to think always a little bit to have the right color, and of course notifications will blink also, like here for example on the ZL. Till next time, please tune in again, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel here right on the bottom. And Devil TV, we have a lot of devices here for testing, like for example this NFC Bluetooth SRS BTV5 speaker. Till next time, thank you very much for watching. My name is Balazs Gal.